Welcome back to my channel. Oh, do I have a video for you today. So it's Monday. Normally this would be a Mental Monday, but I kind of left you guys with a cliffhanger last week, which I didn't mean to do. Things just got crazy. I'll explain. I left you with a cliffhanger with the people from the foster care agency were coming the next day, Thursday. So I want to go over how that went, where we're kind of at right now, and just kind of update you guys on what happened when they came. So backtracking a little bit, when we got the fence finished, that was the big thing we were waiting for to have them come out again, was the fence being finished. So the fence was finished, and I emailed her and I said, hey, the fence is finished. We're ready for you to come out. And she said, okay, be patient. We just had a huge number of families moved to us from another agency. So that started the waiting period we were in immediately after that, where they had to push those other families through to move them over to their agency. And once they were done with that was when they could get back to being able to schedule coming out to us. So we got an email 25th. Actually, I can look when she emailed to me that. When she called and said, hey, we're coming out now. 22nd of July, we got an email saying we would like to come out on the 1st. So Thursday. And he said, yes, please do. And that started us finalizing everything we had on our side to do before they came. So we did all of that. When they came, there was two parts to it. The first part was going through the actual walkthrough checklist. So going through everything on it, and they had to decide, is it met or is it a follow-up? We need to follow up. And some of it didn't apply because we didn't have a placement. Like they're checking for our dietary needs being met. Things like that don't really apply. You can't assess it until there's a placement, so that doesn't apply. So they went through the whole thing. There was a couple of things that came into question that we're waiting to hear back on, but most of the things that they noticed was really simple. Most of it was moving the location of things. So moving and shifting the way we locked things up. Things that are like really detailed things, like the cat and dog food. I'd gone back and forth on what to do with that for a very long time, like almost this entire time. And I knew the like bags of food were not supposed to be accessible, like they were supposed to be locked away. But I was debating whether or not the bowls of food and water even, like what did that look like? And we were trying to figure it out. So we had that discussion with them. We talked about the potential for needing either more fencing or alarms, like sensors on the windows to be able to keep it as a fire exit, but also guard it so that they couldn't open it and get out it without us. Things like shifting some of the game stuff so the cords were more out of the way. It was really detailed stuff. Really the little tiny detailed stuff. I'd already taken the bumpers off the crib because she mentioned that the bumpers were not actually regulation, and I think even now, just standard, not for that like evaluation type thing, but even just recommended, bumpers aren't recommended anymore for safety. So I took those out. I literally just had the sheet on the mattress in the crib and the blanket. That was it. That was all that was in the crib. And so I took all I took all of the bumpers off, and I took the pillow I had in there out, and that's all clear now. Trying to think of what else there was. Most of it was just very little stuff. The biggest concern is whether licensing will allow us to just put alarms on the windows, or if we need to do more fencing in the back. So over here, the fence stops at the corner of the house. So back behind that, where we have our sheds, you don't have fencing that's fencing off where there's still access to the creek back there. Because there's a creek, that the bridge that you guys have seen, there's a creek that runs underneath it by our house. And there is still access there that's not fenced off. That is what they're questioning. And we need access out that window because it needs to be able to be a legal fire exit. But at the same time, the creek's right there and that's not safe. So it's either fencing that off or putting sensors or alarms on the windows. Really hoping and praying it's just alarms. That they're okay with just alarms. Because that is much, much simpler than having to build a whole nother piece of fence back there. So we're waiting to hear back on that. We won't know for, I hope, maybe just a couple of days. But I'll keep you guys updated. Hopefully I'm going to be like asking the whole time so we can know what we're needing to hop on, getting done. I'm trying to think what else they brought up. We do need padlocks on the sheds out back. I thought them being fenced in was enough, but I guess not. So we are getting locks to put on the sheds, which isn't a big deal at all. That's mostly the type of thing that it is just shifting little things like that. Hopefully it'll be super easy. Most of it is just purchasing locks or sensors, and that is easy. That's totally fine. We did talk about the other bedroom, because one of a couple of the conundrums we kind of hit is figuring out that second bedroom. And we got some ideas. We'd already had some plans, and I think that's going to be something we start working on as soon as is possible, is figuring out another bedroom. But that means figuring out the office stuff. So there's a whole lot of that conversation that would need to happen to explain it to you guys. It'd be a long explanation, but those are some of the things we talked about. It was things like getting the outlet covers, because there's like one outlet that's actually accessible. That would be a problem. So we need outlet covers for that outlet. That's really everything. We have the locks for almost everything we need locks for. Andrew had already installed the locks on the cabinet under both sinks. So the sink in the kitchen and the sink in the bathroom. The cabinets underneath those both have locks on them. And that is going to be where we're locking up all of the chemicals and everything. And that'll be easy to lock it away. I moved my oils into the office, so that's how it's locked up. And we have the doorknob on the office door now is one that automatically locks behind you, and you have to put a code in to open it. So that's how we're locking a lot of stuff up, is just we shifted the location into there as much as possible, because it's now behind a locked door, and it's nice. So there was that. And then the second part of them coming, they spent 2 hours here total. There was 2 people that came, 2 of the ladies from our agency that came, our recruiter, and then like the manager of our agency. And for the first hour, both of them did the walkthrough with us. And then the second hour, our recruiter sat down at the table with us and did paperwork. So we had like a bunch of this new paperwork that was representative of changes that had happened in how they were doing things since we did our paperwork initially. So it was updating things, it was adding the new things in. So it was really just a bunch of signing and acknowledging and dating and all of that. A couple of updates to that. Apparently they're not requiring a TB test anymore or an actual physical. They're just having you answer the questions. So if you know what videos I'm referring to where I went and did mine, you understand why that's funny. I'm very, very glad it was that easy. But things shifted, and I don't know if that's for everywhere because each area is very different. So each state is very different for foster care, and even each county is very different for foster care. So our county and our state may not be the same as where you guys are if you are looking into doing foster care. We are in Northern California. I'm not going to say what county, but we're in Northern California. And that's, yeah, in our area, things have shifted. And that was also, there was a bunch of stuff they had added that they wanted that weren't even something they were asking for when we initially did our paperwork. Overall, how the visit went. It went really well. It went as well as I think we could have hoped for. I think we do have our list of things to update, and to answer your question about when they'll be back, we don't know. It depends on how quickly we get all of this done. While we do have our list of things to do, and the quicker we get those things knocked off, the more it'll get the whole ball rolling faster. It was not bad. I believe it was a good start. And I can share more details, the list of stuff. I'm sure we'll probably vlog some of it. But that's where we're at. I hope that all made sense. I hope I went into enough detail so you kind of feel like you understand what happened. If you have any specific pieces of it that I didn't address or talk about at all, leave questions in the comments on this video, and I would love to do a kind of Q&A type video and answer some of those. Other than that, that's what went on with that. Look for more regular videos starting up again now this week. I apologize for how crazy last week was. I literally worked up until the day before and then spent the whole day before getting ready, the whole morning getting ready, and have been working since. So, that was just a very full end of the week. I did not mean to leave you guys with a cliffhanger like that. Okay, I think that's everything from me for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you are as excited as I am. I'm very, very excited. I could not keep the smile off my face when I found out they were coming. So, we will keep you guys posted. Stay tuned for the next part of this adventure. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye!